Get ready for curtains up, a love letter to theater. Celebrating 20 years together, with tears in my eyes I share this. I'm not going anywhere. The poem. 2 decades past, stage lights aglow, a nurtured craft, seeds I have sown. I've watched young actors learn and grow, from whispers shy to voices known. Through anxious wings, then clear and strong, I've taught them joy, dispelled all fear. A bay earned where I belong, with playwright's quest and scripts held dear. Melodies bloom, a hopeful plea for musicals to take their flight, and for the players I fight for their inclusion day and night. The future calls, new stages rise, the curtain falls, the die is cast for theater's future in my eyes. A passion built, designed to last. Chapter 1. Why is this mitten bigger than the other one? A month after the dazzling success of his play, Apples, My Applesauce, Elmer received a cryptic call from a friend demanding he go to the old theater in a tuxedo, finding his home empty. He agreed! At the venue, a friend convinced Elmer that their mutual female best friend was getting married and needed him to walk her down the aisle in treat. Elmer followed his friend backstage to wait for the supposed bride. Standing anxiously in his tuxedo, Elmer eventually stepped onto the stage as the curtain rose, only to be met by friends and family shouting, "Surprise!" The wedding was an elaborate, loving prank designed for his 20th anniversary celebration. Overwhelmed, Elmer laughed and cried. The theater was decorated, featuring an 20th anniversary banner. The celebration began with a career montage, starting with the genesis of his acting bug, a childhood school play where he was dressed as Nicky from The Mitten. An old video played, featuring his former stage companion, Ice Cream Lady. She shared a humorous memory about Elmer's perpetually drooping costume shorts, then tearfully congratulated him on his 20-year journey. Elmer realized that while The Mitten was never Broadway material, those early shared moments of laughter and camaraderie with his friends were the cherished foundations of his career, never to be forgotten. Actors I help, Lyra announced, Elmer, we're celebrating your 2 decades dedicated to the magic of the stage. Special guests are here to share their stories. Curtains rose to reveal former castmates and friends, each holding a yellow rose. A touching surprise for Elmer. Tony winner Marcus, once a shy teen Elmer cast, spoke first, crediting Elmer with sculpting his talent and belief. You didn't just give me my start, you gave me a family. Throughout the night, stories of Elmer's kindness, patience, and passion filled the air, swelling his heart with pride. A montage of his productions played as the theater sang along to "We're all in this together." As the dance floor filled, Lila handed Elmer a microphone. A little surprised, she smiled. The music shifted to sunrise, sunset. A cue he knew, stepping into the spotlight. Elmer sang with nostalgia and gratitude, the lyrics profoundly meaningful. The audience swayed, then joined him, their collective voices a testament to their bonds. Tears swelled as his accomplished students and friends sang along after thunderous applause. An emotional Elmer thanked everyone, expressing joy in their growth and their profound impact. Here's to the next 20 years he toasted, met with renewed applause. His legacy, he knew, was the people he inspired. Chapter 3, I got the last laugh with Annie. On stage, a nervous Elmer adjusted the microphone after a celebration concluded in the 2-decade-old theater. Chuckling, he revealed, "You thought Fiddler on the Roof Jr. was my first gig? It was supposed to be Annie." The audience reacted with surprise. With mischief, Elmer recounted being cast as Mr. Bundles in Annie, but pulled last minute. He whispered conspiratorially, "The person who pulled me out, her plan backfired." He had secured director Miss Jenkins' permission to add his character a line, "This laundry bin is heavy." Though upset about being dropped from his favorite musical, he attended opening night, and to his delight, his line was performed. The audience roared with laughter as Elmer grinned, explaining, "That evil person tried to punish me, but technically failed. We laugh about it now." He called it his first taste of playwriting, a single line from the shadows, adding, "It shows that even when life doesn't go as planned, it's not over until it's over. I didn't know it then, but I'd unknowingly achieved adding a line to Annie." The forgotten actor who replaced him as Mr. Bundles then appeared in the audience, leading to a spontaneous, viral on-stage reunion that reignited Elmer's career. Chapter 4, Disabled Boy is here to stay. Elmer was recounting his strongest, most touching memory from his time in the theater world. A moment from high school drama club when his directors, Mr. Red and Mims Halfham, left him, their trusted student director, temporarily in charge. The room buzzed with chatter until a student's well-dressed mother, known for her unsolicited opinions, entered. She scanned the room, settling her gaze on Elmer, she sneered, "Do you really think they're going to listen to you? And disabled boy like you?" The words stung, but before Elmer could react, the entire room went silent one by one. The students stood up, then like a rehearsed chorus, they roared in unison, "He's our student director." The collective power of their voices overwhelmed Elmer. The shocked mother and her silent daughter were utterly dumbfounded. When the directors returned, the students angrily recounted the incident. The directors gently asked Elmer for his decision, wiping a tear. Elmer replied, "It's okay, let's just keep going with rehearsals. I'm the kind of guy who doesn't seek revenge." But the teachers felt such behavior could not be tolerated in their safe haven. They approached the mother and daughter and firmly told them they were no longer welcome in the drama club. In that moment, Elmer realized he had earned true respect, not just through his passion for theater, but because he chose to rise above the pettiness. It was a lesson he carried for life. It was time for cake, and Elmer's eyes landed on the image of Snoopy, his favorite Peanuts character. This familiar face sparked a wave of memories, prompting him to share a story with the gathering. "You know," Elmer announced, his voice cutting through the gentle murmur of the room, "I once auditioned for a role with Snoopy." Forks paused midair as a hush fell over his audience. Captivated Elmer took a breath, a nostalgic glint in his eyes. "It was for a school play. I had all these grand ideas about how I'd embody him. The perfect jokes, the scene, stealing moments." A soft chuckle escaped him, a fond echo of that long ago audition. As Elmer's story continued, the room grew quieter. He spoke of his time in the audition club, the electric feeling of being on stage, and the bonds he forged with his fellow actors. He was convinced his charm and wit were exactly what Snoopy needed. However, the directors had a different vision. "They told me I got a call back," Elmer continued, his voice even. But then they surprised me at the callback. They announced, "We're changing the play." And then they delivered the kicker. "Elmer, we don't think there's a role for you in High School Musical 2. He let the absurdity of it settle in the silence. Can you imagine me in High School Musical 2? Not that it's my favorite or anything. A wave of laughter swept through the room, a shared recognition of the Kanye twist. Yet Elmer's smile didn't quite reach his eyes. But that's showbiz, right? He shrugged, a grin returning. So I refocused on what I did have. My role as a Mardi Gras dancer in Beauty and the Beast. And my upcoming part is Blip in Crying College. I told myself Snoopy wasn't meant to be disabled. A warm atmosphere permeated the room. As he concluded his tale, his friends offered nods, some with glistening eyes. It was a moment of shared vulnerability, a reminder that success often walks hand in hand with doubts and disappointment. But it also highlighted Elmer's resilience, his ability to overcome challenges and find happiness even in unexpected turns. Chapter 6. Not your Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Picture this. He began, his voice resonating with the timbre of a storyteller. A story as old as time, yet as true as the heart within your chest. His words hung in the air, the silence waiting for his narrative to unfold. Elmer took a deep breath, his eyes glazing over as if looking through a window into a distant memory. I was a young man passionate about drama. It wasn't just a hobby, it was a part of my soul. A way to escape the mundane and breathe life into characters from ancient tales and forgotten legends. One fateful evening, as the grand theater dimmed and the velvet curtains parted, I found myself in a production far from the Shakespearean sonnets or Greek tragedies I'd hoped for. Beauty and the Beast, the children's play, had chosen me, not for my prowess with words, but for my willingness to step outside my comfort zone. And danced with a young cast, the room buzzed with energy, laughter, shuffling feet, eager rehearsals. Instead of a lead, I was an extra, a minor part. Our routine was simple, almost insulting in its simplicity. But I admit, the joy in the children's faces as they twirled and laughed was contagious. My one step side to side, then center became a silent mantra. Moving with them, I felt alive. The teenagers and adults had their own dressing room. Where was I? You'd think I'd be with my peers, but no, I was in the kids' green room. I felt a twinge of jealousy at their complex routines which they'd perform after our performance, but I pushed those feelings aside. This was about the joy of craft, not the size of the role. Plus the kids were pretty adorable in their little costumes. Then a sudden knock on the door shattered the moment. A frantic stagehand burst in, pale-faced. She announced there had been an accident upstairs. Parents of the children had been told to evacuate due to gas. Gasping, whispering, everyone waited anxiously. My curiosity impeded. I tried to ask, but she looked at me and said, "You're just a kid, you wouldn't understand." I was irritated I wasn't a kid, and my protests were ignored. "Not a child," I whispered, but she was already gone, leaving me with her words and my frustration. The step I'd been practicing seemed mocking now, a symbol of limits others had placed on me. But I refused to be defeated. Taking a deep breath, I straightened my costume, determined to prove I was more than a one-step wonder. Show went on, each performance built camaraderie. They looked up to me, not just as an older participant, but as someone who could share stories beyond their limited world. I enjoyed their company, their enthusiasm, their innocence, a refreshing change from negativities. Besides dancing, theater taught me a lot. The community didn't see past my disabilities, but I have no negative things to say about them. They taught me a valuable lesson.
Chapter 7. Don't listen to anyone but your heart that's telling you what to do. In the dimly lit theater, Elmer shared the two-part story of his defining night on stage. He recounted starring as Blip in the class play, Crying College, a role that felt like a superhero cape, allowing him to be seen for his talent, not his disabilities. When the play ended, the symphony of applause made him feel he finally belonged. The night continued with a talent show where Elmer performed an impromptu, signed Dance to the Twist. His enthusiasm was infectious. But when he invited Lucy, his co-star, to dance, she refused. He interpreted her rejection as a reflection of societal preconceptions about disability, though he felt joyful regardless. Elmer revealed the painful second part regarding Lucy. Their chemistry on stage was real, but during a rehearsal, his sign language interpreter warned him, a non-disabled girl and a disabled boy, it won't work out. The weight of this fear caused him to pull back, crippling the relationship he desired. A heavy silence fell over the room as he concluded with the crushing revelation: what I didn't tell my interpreter was that Lucy was already in love with me! His story was not just about the stage. It was about the regret of allowing fear and prejudice to dictate a choice that cost him a profound connection.
Chapter 8. The Comeback to the Stage.
Elmer leaned into the microphone, his voice a tremulous murmur. I never thought I'd get this chance again. The assembled friends and family paused, setting down pieces of cake as a quiet descended upon the room. But here we are, 2 decades later, and I find myself once more in the spotlight. The statement hung in the air, a soft acknowledgement of the intervening years. The silver in his hair caught the light of the chandeliers, and when he surveyed the faces, deep wrinkles creased the corners of his eyes. He drew a steadying breath, the atmosphere thick with anticipation. His voice gained strength, tinged now with excitement. Let me share the story of the night I genuinely became Peter Pan. This happened, he explained, at the community theater's talent show. For weeks he had practiced a single piece that resonated deeply: Zendaya's rendition of Neverland from the Broadway production of Finding Neverland. The audience responded with appreciative nods and quiet assent. Elmer recalled the rush of walking out onto the stage, the distinct scent of paint and aged curtains, the frantic beat of his own heart. And then it started. He recounted, his eyes now bright. The orchestra began, and I simply soared. He illustrated the ascent with a broad, sweeping gesture of his arms. I moved as if I possessed the heavens, every movement an act of flight. A slightly self-conscious laugh escaped him, though the warmth in his gaze remained. My attire itself was magnificent, greens interwoven with gold, dusted with what seemed like stardust. He paused, reliving the vision. The ovation felt like a powerful symphony, pure joy resonating in my soul and ears. His smile broadened, immediately erasing the passage of time. His youthful fervor was vividly present once more. The entire gathering was now entranced. Yet, the true magic of that night centered on one small girl, perhaps 8 years old, whose eyes were enormous saucers. She watched me, accepting every word as truth. His vision softened as the music concluded. She instantly rose, applauding fiercely, her face radiant with pure wonder. A gentle laugh followed. It was as though I had delivered her the key to her personal wonderland. The audience clearly grasped the significance. Elmer felt a surge of pride. As I took my bow, I saw her lean in and whisper to her mother, who was completely beaming. He dropped his volume significantly. That expression mirrored the exact look my own mother gave me whenever she watched me on stage. The listeners edged closer, captivated. She later appeared backstage, carrying a small collection of wild flowers. "These are for you, Mr. Elmer," she declared. "You made me believe I can go anywhere, do anything." A tightness constricted his throat. That instant transcended simple recollection. It was a reaffirmation. Elmer paused to take a cool, soothing sip of water. The real enchantment isn't found merely in the sparkle of the cheering. It resides in forging a connection, in evolving genuine emotion in another person. He gazed out at them, his heart overflowing, and in that recognition I knew I still possessed that inner spark. I can still influence things, even if it's just within the world of a single child. A moment of silence passed before music gently filtered into the room. Elmer returned the microphone, feeling noticeably lighter. He moved on to the polished dance floor, beginning to twirl and to soar, alive once more inside his dream.